These instructions on this video are only a summary guideline for using the Owens Corning inspector gauge for installing Pro-Pink Complete blown-in insulation system. Install only after having appropriate training. The Owens Corning inspector gauge should only be used in conjunction with Owens Corning L77 loose fill product and the Owens Corning fabric for the Owens Corning wall system. Safety is paramount. Always use appropriate safety and personal protective equipment when on job sites. Refer to the product package and product data sheet for additional safety information. To begin using the inspector density gauge, you will need a compressor with at least 6-gallon capacity and a 2-horsepower motor. Set the regulator on the compressor at 75 to 80 psig. Note, this setting will allow you to use other tools such as pneumatic stapler without changing the settings. Next, attach a 3/8 pneumatic hose with quick disconnect to the compressor and to the inspector density gauge. Next, start the compressor and allow it to increase with its rated pressure, which is typically 120 psig. Inspector gauge calibration. Step 1. Set the inspector density gauge to 10 psig. Step 2. Hold the gauge in the vertical position so that you are looking at the large dial. If the needle reads 0, then proceed to the next step. If the needle is more than 1 bar from 0, use a small screwdriver to turn the screw on the face of the dial and adjust the needle to 0. Turn on the air switch, the needle should still read 0. Step 3. If the air switch is on and the needle does not read 0, inspect the air passages on the back of the gauge for any obstructions. Repeat procedures after repairs. Measurement and conversion to R value using the Owens Corning inspector density gauge. Step 1. You will need at least one filled wall cavity with stud spacings between 12 and 24 inches to measure density. Measurement should not be taken at the nozzle entry points where there is an obvious hole in the insulation or closer than 2 inches from any framing feature. Step 2. Grip the handles on both sides of the inspector density gauge and press the device against the studs centered between them. Step 3. Open the air switch and read the gauge. Note the reading. Move sensor to another location within the cavity space. Repeat this step 5 more times to get a total of 6 readings. Step 4. Average the 6 readings from the inspector density gauge. On the conversion chart, find the highest WC minimum reading that matches the average without going over. Read across the chart and see the density R value achieved. Step 5. Enter the reading on the wall chart. See Owens Corning publication number 58454 upon completion of the project. This wall certifies the house has achieved a given R value. This device has been designed for use with the Owens Corning Pro-Pink Complete blown-in wall system exclusively and cannot be used with any other fabrics or insulating systems. Thank you for your interest. Thank you for using Owens Corning.